This is lesson 2 of the Tiny Finger Takeoff Plan that's going to take your young beginner all the way through their first year with enhancing activities to go along with your method book. In this lesson, we're going to continue on the work we did last week and also introduce some more finger dexterity work. So we start with the warm-up routine. I'm going to stop mentioning this. This happens every lesson. So you get up, or you're still standing when you walk in, you flop your arms around, you lift them up and you drop them, and then you set your student up at the piano and talk about their posture. That should be the start of every lesson. From there, we're going to do a dancing fingers warm-up. And this is a great thing to build in directly after the warm-up routine in their practice at home as well. So dancing fingers goes dancing fingers in the air, dancing fingers in my hair, dancing fingers on my knees, dancing fingers on the keys. And they're not playing anything on the keys, by the way, although sometimes we will do a little bit, right? That's a great way to get them aware of that they have lots of fingers and that they can wiggle them and get them going, and it's also just a fun rhythmic warm-up to get them started and into feeling the beat and the rhythm of the words. Next, we review our dogs and gates activity. We're going to do this lots of times because they need it. Trust me, to get them to really navigate the keyboard successfully, you have to take it slow when it comes to key names and navigating the keyboard. So repeat your dogs and gates activity. Hopefully they'll be getting a little bit more independent with it, but don't worry if you still need to give them a good bit of help. After that, we're going to do some Aural training, and this is with Aural paddles. So we have these here. I've chosen same and different as the first pair to work with. You can start with any, but generally this is the easiest. So that's why we're starting there. And I get them to stand beside the piano. I put one of these in each hand and they try to, grab them with both. And we make sure one in each hand. And their job is to hold up the correct one. Now they're actually standing looking at the piano. That's how easy we want to start with this. So they're standing probably right about here. And I'll play 2 sounds and say, now, are they the same or different? And they need to hold up a paddle. So just, or, right? And they need to hold up which one it is. As they start to get good at it, get them to turn around. If they get good at it, get them to turn around and do it just using their ears rather than looking at the piano. And start again, especially when they're using just their ears, start with 2 very different sounds. Never do 2 of the same note, just in case that confuses them. So do, are those the same or different? And as they get even better at it, you can start including, chords or something, or same or different. Working on those different concepts and making sure they're just listening. We're just waking up their ears, getting them, using them in a way that they probably haven't up to this point. Lastly, for today's plan, we're going to work on tapping the beat, and we're going to do this with the animal tracks. It's extra fun to do it with the animal tracks that they met already last week because you have another thing to talk about, and you can, while you're tapping the beat, be saying, and now, what is it that makes this sound like a bear? Who is this? Which animal was this again? What other animals does it sound like? All while tapping along. Again, I say this a lot, but don't worry if they can't do this yet. Some kids, this is one of those things that just divides kids completely, even at 3-4-year-olds. Some kids will just straight away, they'll tap along with the beat. I think it's just as simple as they've had a lot of music in their house, or they haven't, or maybe mum naturally taps her foot, or she doesn't. Something like that, who's to say? But some kids they'll even have trouble tapping together, so you'll get all sorts of random sounds. So don't worry if that's the case, that just means you need to do more of it. That's something to pay attention to because it's really important that they get that steady beat over time. So keep varying the music you're using. If your student is struggling a lot with this, do it with lots of different music and keep tapping and keep marching and all of that stuff. That's it for this lesson. I'll see you in lesson 3.